How the heck are you, Sarah Louise?
Oh, I mean, honestly, a little bloated, but that's just personal problems.
Well, this is episode 563, and it is officially November.
Wow.
Are you sad that spooky season is over?
Oh, Suze, I gotta come clean about something.
You have a confession.
I have a confession.
Let's hear it.
Well, maybe this is like a testimony to how witchy I really am naturally.
Okay.
Because all of you guys didn't even think and didn't even question or ask me anything about it. I did not even get any of my Halloween decorations out. I didn't even get my boxes.
Happened? You had grand plans.
And so people are like thinking that I'm all Halloween-y and spooky around my house. And I'm like, no, that's just regular in my house.
You're kidding me.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Like
they're like,
people
ooh,
come
look
over
at that.
and
Animal bones. No, that's regular.
Animal bones.
Yeah, skulls. No, just regular.
What's
yeah,
the reason, though?
Honestly, like, okay, I'm gonna go this. I'm gonna therapist myself.
Okay.
I don't know, whatever that word is. That you would say. I am mad at my storage unit because they did that stupid thing where they raised the price of the unit.
Yeah.
But then they don't really tell you. And then they're like, well, you can leave.
Right.
And I'm like, I know I can, but is that worth the $20 of my time that you
How much did they increase it to?
$20. Oh, it
And
went from
what's it
80 to
normally?
100.
Oh, wow. That's
Which seems like a
significant.
big jump. And also
Yeah.
seems like $100 for so I didn't want to be reminded of that because then I knew what I wanted to do is make a phone call to them and then do the whole argue them down for like a lesser rate or something, or like then even actually have to move it. So it's one of those things where I've just been, well, really, this is like me avoiding feelings, and
Yeah,
this
you're stonewalling.
I'm 100% doing that.
Location.
I'm like, no, I can't go there because I don't want to think about any of the things that come with like being at that. I can see myself picking, and my unit is organized so well. I bet it's all set up, and I've got it like in rows by season, and in each bin is color coordinated. So I just go and grab those yellow and black bins and boop boop, ready for Halloween.
Wow, the bins are the color of whatever.
Yes,
that
season
is great.
Yeah, Halloween is yellow and black because that's the closest I could get.
Yeah.
Christmas, red and green. And
Sarah,
Easter
that's
is light blue. And all my stuff that is memorabilia is clear so that I could see what's inside, just in case I want to find anything that is, important.
Wow.
Now you know my whole organization routine in my storage unit. Wasn't good, but didn't have that on my list of things to share. But if we're giving people an education, it comes in all forms, I suppose.
It really does. Well,
you're the organization queen, Suze.
Ooh, that's next level though, with the bins.
I can't believe you don't have this already. Because then you don't have to even. Susie, do you know what the home screen on my iPhone looks like?
Yeah, that annoys me though.
So why would I not have? Okay, for those who don't know, my apps are in little.
They're color coded. Also,
they're color coded, so they're in little. They
That
hang out
bugs
together
me
with
because
I don't know.
I mustn't be as visual as you are, because for me that would just make me more confused.
When you say any app that people would generally use,
Etsy. Do you have Etsy on there?
Yes, I already know it's orange.
Yeah, it is orange.
So that's what comes up in my brain.
Yeah,
what
that
else
works
you got
for you?
So it's like I got, I could do that with every single one, and so it just like in my head.
What's Instagram in? Is that white?
That's like there's a purple one. It's like purple, yellow, and orange, but it's kind of like a swirly design. And what I found being a person who does this is that because we naturally associate different colors with different things and emotions, and whatever. They naturally organize themselves anyways. A lot of the banking ones are blue. So
that's true, right?
When I click on the blue ones, it's that.
Yeah,
A lot of the informative ones are red. a lot of this is how it works. So I don't even have to organize them by theme. Because there you go. A lot of the photo ones, the camera ones, are a black background with a colored image inside of it. And so that goes in its own little black with color image inside of, there you go.
My God.
It's so cool that it does that. I mean, like, I remember discovering that and being like,
you're onto them.
I don't know. It's not like everybody got together and did this. It's another one of those things that just confirms what we already know about color theory. And I just love that.
Well, and I always think about this with like anybody that's trying to get your money.
Which is everybody.
The companies.
Yeah.
They know how the human brain works, and then they design things to get you to buy more stuff.
Correct.
And I also say this is true about religion.
Correct.
They know how the human brain works, so they structure religious services around creating that sense of community and closeness.
Yes.
It's all by design.
Now that you say that, my mom, I mean, she's so smart. And she's going to love me saying this in this episode, too. Hi, Mom. So she was a art history. What the hell do you call it? Tour guide. She was a tour guide in Europe, and she's very knowledgeable in architecture, in like, well, I guess it's like religious architecture, like churches and things like that, different time periods. So a lot of like Renaissance and Gothic architecture, my mom knows so much about. So she'd walk us through there, and she would be like, okay, notice how they have really high ceilings, and how do you feel? We're like 7. She's like, and how do you feel when you're in here? And we're like, really small. And she's like, So they make you feel really small. So blah, blah. And she's explaining all this in the exact same way you would if we were walking through Target together. Don't you see how they make the lights in here? They pump in this. Do you smell that in the air? Like, it is the same, energy, the same... we're going to kind of manipulate you through your environment in ways that are maybe not so obvious to you.
Yeah, it serves their goals. And it's not an accident that a lot of new American churches look like stores. I mean, they don't look like traditional churches.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah, like they're designed to make you feel the way you do when you spend money.
Oh my God! I love this shit. Susie.
Isn't it fun?
You blow my mind with the religion stuff. Like, I don't think, because like, I don't even see it that way through that lens.
Yeah.
And then when you tell me things, I'm like, oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying it to be critical. I'm just saying that, every institution has goals, and they try to make those goals happen.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, that's really cool. Well
any hoodles. We're moving out of spooky season, and now we're in... Oh, you love, like, the gratitude month, don't you? Weren't you one of those people?
Yeah, for sure.
You love talking about what you're thankful for?
I love it. That's, like, what I live for.
Well, you're in luck.
I know. What are you grateful for this year? Let's kick it off, Sus.
How about you do it?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, now the pressure.
Right?
I feel great. This is going to sound so cheesy, because the thing that's on the top of my mind right now is I feel grateful for the opportunity to kind of get to see different seasons, because I have a lot of trips planned out to Denver. And I'm just really excited for the opportunity to kind of fall in love with a new place and have seasons.
Yeah, I do appreciate the good seasonal situation. I've learned to appreciate it more now that I'm in Pittsburgh again.
Yeah. Oh, that video that you had, like, I mean, like, this is a movie, one of those, like, artsy films or something, like art house films.
Montage.
Susie had this video up on her Instagram of just leaves falling in the wind. It was like antidepressants for me.
Oh, really?
I watched it like 4 times.
You didn't?
Yes, I did.
That is adorable.
That's why I had to comment on it, because I was like, oh. I can picture it now. They fluttered. Like, when does that happen? For a second, I thought it was a filter that you had on it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I had to watch it a few times because I was like, wait, is that real?
Yeah, that's real, man.
You know?
Well,
we don't have that
also another
here.
thing I'm thankful for is really beautiful, comfortable, sustainable shoes from Rothy's.
Oh, I'm so grateful for that.
Me too. I love these shoes. I was just reading this book called The Conscious Closet, and it was, giving you advice on how to not consume more than you need to and how to make the most of what you have, which I just love getting tips about that stuff. And one of the things, of course, is like cost per wear, which, by the way, with Rothy's
we
is
love
amazing.
That the most in the whole. I mean, mine
you can wash them,
sparkling new.
Yeah, you throw them in the washing machine, and they really do come out looking like new. So then they really last, and then you get your money's worth.
They sure. You know how you wear other shoes, and right at the seam, they get that it starts to rip and tear. Like it's almost like it's happened to so many shoes at after about a year of owning them that I've been expecting it, like holding my breath, like waiting for, like quote unquote the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
I've had these guys for like 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah, me too. And
they're
truly
brand new. And they're in perfect condition.
And they're made from recycled plastic.
I love that.
Which
no
is
regret
fantastic.
buying.
Yeah. And they now have men's, they have children's, and they have tons of different like patterns and styles. And to help you welcome fall season in style, Rothy's is doing something special. That's right, they gave us the chance to share this super rare opportunity with our listeners for a limited time. Right now you can get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/braincandy. That's ROTHYS.com/braincandy. Head to rothys.com/braincandy to find your new favorites today. They're great.
Yes. Love them.
I don't lie.
Yeah.
Okay, what's on your mind today, Sarah?
Okay. So I've got a whole theme going, but before I even get into that, I have to talk about this one that came up into my inbox or whatevs, a Twitter feed. This morning, Japan's princess getting married and ditching the old royal family.
I know. What do you think?
Okay. I love it. And I feel like this is happening. Is this like the new thing? This feels very Meghan Markle or very Prince Harry to me too.
Yeah,
that people are like, I don't know. I don't know how much longer we're going to have the like a monarchy kind of situation in different.
Well, it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, and I get it. I just don't think what I feel like this kind of falls under the religious umbrella in a way too, right?
For sure. I mean,
like
there's a lot of
like the tie to that,
examples of that,
and why that kind of lasts. And as we see that die off, I feel like it kind of falls into the same category for me of like worshiping these people as like larger than life, or like these like in a way like they're, I don't know, royalty amongst.
Yeah, I mean,
it feels like that to me.
The birthright thing has been around since the beginning of time, but I was fascinated when I was reading about her. It sounded to me like this was a different situation for the male royals than it is for the female royals.
Tell me more.
How, like, it said something about how the men actually get a full name at birth, but the women only get like their first name and then their title, and it's almost like they're not fully a person. And so if they choose to marry a commoner, then they actually have to just like excuse themselves from the family. They're not just abdicating; they're also like they're like excommunicated.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, they hugged and said goodbye.
Isn't that
they had a proper goodbye. Like, and they were happy about it. They were kind of like, to me, I got the vibe from the video that I watched that they were like,
good riddance.
Good, not even more like, go for it. I didn't. But there was a financial dispute over the whole thing. So,
yeah, I mean, is that the thing? Is it about money? Because why couldn't she just get rid of her royal title but still be a friggin' member of their family? It's almost like they got rid of her as a member of the family.
They did. They fully like she is stripped of her title. She has to exit the family. That's what the article said that I read.
Yes.
New York Times, whatever. Exit the family.
So she won't be going to like fucking
No.
Thanksgiving. Whatever their equivalent is.
So Brian goes,
that's
because
so
we're in November.
Dumb.
Yeah, that seems so dumb. But isn't that kind of the same thing that happened with Harry?
Well, he's still invited to
Thanksgiving?
the house and stuff.
Okay, well,
like he's still in the family. He's just not in line for the throne.
But he can still participate in all of the. I feel like
maybe he is still in line for the throne. He just isn't an official working member.
I feel like he's not getting an invite. He's not on the Evite mail list for like any royal activities in the future. If you're like, I don't know though, because I'm not on the in.
From what
and
I understand,
I don't follow all that.
They differentiate between the job of being a royal with being in the family. So he's still in the family, but he's not. That's not his job anymore. Okay, they just seemed a little. Maybe after like the interviews and everything, it just looked like maybe there would have had some. Like, yeah, there's some saltiness. Well, remember when Edward VIII abdicated in England and married that American hussy, Wallis Simpson?
I don't remember, but I love everything about your description about that. It's kind of like how we're hookers.
Yeah, exactly. Like they fell in love, and he was like, "Fuck this! I want to be with Wallis." But everyone was like, "Yikes, she's a dud."
Oh, well, with a name like Wallis, that's her first name.
Yeah, that was.
Oof, that's unfortunate. Wally,
Wally Simps,
Wally Simpson, Simps, whatever. Sounds like Wally Simpson. That just sounds like a character on The Simpsons. Oh,
it really does.
It really does. Like, there's nothing. If you said there's no way, of course, that could be one of those classic like under promise over deliver kind of things. You just say, "Look, I got this girl. Her name's Wally, whatever,
right.
Anything."
Right. Sets the bar low.
Yeah,
but like
all she has to have is like
It feels scary though because relationships are hard. People are all people. And so if you get caught up in this incredible romance and then you have the reality of life and you've given up your throne, boy, pressure's on.
I feel like I think when they're giving up the throne, I mean, yeah, you're giving up the title, but you've got money somewhere. It's not like they're going like, and they're like on the streets and they're, this is, and come on. I don't know if it's just me and my family history, but if it were like, okay, guys, you are out of the family and you're not going to be allowed to come to Thanksgiving ever again. Not my family, like my brothers and my mom. I love them. But like the rest of her, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, that's like a bonus.
Fucking cool. Right. I'm like, and I don't have to do that? Oh, great.
The decision makes itself.
Yeah. I mean, golly, for how long? Until I was about 32. 32 years of my life, I would have loved to be able to, like, I don't know, have that side of the family give me the boot. I was trying to get kicked. I've been trying to get kicked out of that side of the family.
Well, I hope she's real happy with that guy.
She looks real happy. They're giving each other the, like, eyes. I'm looking at the picture. They totally...
I know, hungry eyes.
I mean, when it's, like, her commoner college sweetheart, I mean...
I know,
so
it's
cute.
So cute.
What do you think it is? You think he gives her the big O or what?
Yeah.
For sure.
Do.
She's
big
definitely... I am looking at how she is looking at him, and she is looking at him like...
I'm telling you, hungry eyes.
She's got
hungry eyes. I really wish that we could play more music on here like that. And
that would be so fun. They probably will sue us. But like if we sing really poorly and a little bit off tune, off key like me.
Yeah, it's like it's not even the real thing.
It's like not the real thing. Also, I'm going to take a moment to just like do a little like brag about like for a sec, but also hopefully inspire people. Remember when I started learning how to play the ukulele? A million years ago. Mm-hmm. And remember how it like started out of my, now ex-husband being like, you should learn how to play this. And then like he didn't even care. Like, and it was like,
I didn't know that part.
Oh, you didn't know this? You didn't know this part?
No.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay,
he wanted you to learn the ukulele?
Sus, I can't even believe I never talked to you about this. This is just, this kind of falls into like this says a lot about, how things.
The secrets we keep, right?
Yeah. So we were planning on, well, how about this? I should say, I think sometimes people like the idea of something or a romanticized version of something.
Yeah.
And want that more than they like the actual thing. So I love camping and I love, outdoorsy shit. And we had that whole trip. We went on that whole trip, the Airstream trailer trip.
Yes.
So we were planning this for a long time, the trip. And so he said to me, it would be really cool if you learned how to play the ukulele. And then on our trip, we could be playing the ukulele by the campfire. He said this 3 months before our trip, while I'm in grad school, last semester of grad school.
An instrument.
And I'm like, okay. So I learned an instrument, but then while we were on the trip, there were a few things. So first of all, I did not want this to be this is this bad thing and this bad thing. But, why I was doing this then versus why I'm doing it now is nice to kind of do a little compare and contrast when you switch and start doing things for yourself. I had wanted to show him, what I had learned. And so it was my first, I don't know, maybe week or two of playing or so. And I learned a song, and the first response was kind of it was a little bit off, and I was and I was oh yeah, and those were kind of the things where I was I think I need to get a divorce.
What are you, Yo-Yo Ma? Can it?
Yeah. So when we were on the trip, and then I was playing, and it was kind of more negative, aren't you going to play something? And I was well, I'm learning, I was just a couple months in. So that's how I started playing the ukulele and why I started. But I have been sticking to it because I fucking love it. And I am so glad that I started to play.
Yeah.
And I have really had that experience, you read about it in books and shit where they say you just have to practice every day, and even if you feel like you don't get it, it'll click, or if you practice something, and this works really well for studying too. How you have to have multiple days in between. You have to do it on one day, and you have to have sleep. Yes, you have to have sleep. Yes, a rest day.
Well, and wouldn't you agree, though, too, that you also need to hydrate?
Definitely. You have to take care of your body. Very important. You can't have dry mouth as you are singing along to your ukulele like I do right now.
And nothing will provide that hydration better than Liquid IV. It is so great first thing in the morning. You know how when you wake up all mealy-mouthed or before a workout?
Oh, God, I hate that. Yes.
Yeah. So just pour in the Liquid IV into your water, and you'll hydrate yourself 2 to 3 times faster than just a regular glass. And they taste delish. There's so many flavors now. Watermelon, passion fruit, guava, lemon, lime, strawberry.
Tangerine.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, do you like the tangerine?
I do.
It's very refreshing, and it's just so convenient because you can keep the packets in your car, your purse, or when you travel. Grab your favorite Liquid IV flavors nationwide at Walmart, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code CANDY at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you get better hydration today using our code CANDY at liquidiv.com. Sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
So I have been... I just, I practice regularly, and I just pick it up and I just keep it next to my couch and next to the sofa, and I just pick it up and play. And, I have this cool app where it has all the chords, and you can save your favorite and, go back to them. So when I first started, I saved all these songs that I liked, and I'm like, oh, one day, like Jolene by Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah.
And I like,
Banger.
and I honestly, there were so many where I'm like, oh, Susie loves this. I'm going to save a bunch of songs Susie loves. So then when we're hanging out sometime, and we can like play the ukulele and have a sing along by the campfire.
That.
And I totally have like a Susie song playlist with a lot of Credence, a lot of CCR on it.
Yes.
Yes, so much. It'll be so fun. So I make all this playlist and everything, and then I had it in my head. I have like my few go-to songs that I would like play or practice all the time because like they were ones that I knew how to play. And then every now and then I would try and like a new chord or like learn a little bit. But then the other night I was like, let me just go back to like those old songs that I saved the first month or two of learning how to play the ukulele, and just in my head I had it that those were hard songs that like I couldn't play yet.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I felt like frickin' Beethoven.
Oh.
I was like, what? I didn't even have to, I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy crap. Practice really works.
Practice works. That's great.
I never thought in 1 million years I would be a person who could play an instrument. I wrote that off. Remember when I said I thought I was tone deaf?
That was so weird.
Susie, so anybody who thinks that they can't learn a language or can't learn how to swim or ski or ride a bike or play an instrument, yes, you absolutely can. I know you
agree.
can.
I'm glad you're telling people that.
Yeah, this was not on my list of things to talk about, but
I'm
I
happy for you.
Thanks. Well, I was so excited that I had this. Well, and okay, here we go. Me admitting things because now everybody has to know. I was like 4 minutes late to the podcast today because I got caught up playing the ukulele earlier this morning, and then I was like, oh gosh, I gotta get my shit together. I got like 5 minutes, and
that
so
is a great reason.
I was in the music zone, and that just like. It's healing shit, man.
It is.
So
I mean, truly. I keep reading all these articles about Paul McCartney because he has a lot of stuff coming out, and so everyone's writing about him. And he has that same feeling, even after all these years. Like, he still has that sense of, like, music is like breathing, and it's so important. And it is.
It really...
It's all the magic.
Oh, my God, I'm going to cry. That's so dumb.
No.
What? Oh,
that is really, what the good stuff is. That is what life is all about.
And when you think that you can't do something and you're like, and then maybe people kind of make fun of you for it, or it's something that like, and you kind of have this like, well, it's important to me and I don't care if I'm good at it or not. I just want to do it.
Yes.
And like, I had no idea how much it meant to me. And then hearing you talk about it is like, this is silly. I have no idea.
No, please don't say that it's silly, because I wish more people would kind of like break out of that zombie mode that everyone's in and realize like that is what the life is about. When people really are done with their time on earth, that is the stuff that makes it great.
Yeah, and you really helped me so much when you had your year of music like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And you said to me, you're like, and I think it maybe was in a book we read, or it was just like, a Susie special. And you said, we have this idea that you have to be a good singer to sing.
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes. I couldn't agree more. And you don't have to be a good anything to do the thing. Cook.
Right.
Whatever.
And everybody who's good at whatever it is sucked.
And they probably suck at other things that you might be good at. Just fucking do the thing.
Yes. Oh my God. This became like the most emotional episode. That was very healing. Like, I did not, and I think just like the memories of like thinking like, man, like, am I going to be good at maybe I can't do this, and feeling like, wait a sec, I am not what somebody else tells me I am. I'm whatever I want to be.
Yeah.
And that's like
is
important.
such a good lesson.
It's an important thing to remember. You are exactly what you want to be. And you know what else helped me is in this app. This is going to sound like an ad for this app, but I am not going to tell them the name because I am mad at them for some accidental charges that then I had to go through and do a whole reversal on so anyways.
It's a real emotional roller coaster.
Yeah,
over there
it was.
About this
Okay.
app.
Yeah, right. I'm like, but you're so good. I can't quit you. And they have these little, like you can set it up so it'll record you, like video record you while it shows you the chord. So you can kind of like, and then it posts it like underneath your story, kind of like a TikTok or an Instagram story or something like that. And so I was looking at the things that people decided to post, that they were like, oh, this song, it's them playing whatever song.
Yeah.
And so you just get to see a bunch of people in the zone playing music they love. And it's cool because it sorts it by, like, if you have songs that you like, it shows you people playing those songs. So I saw people playing the songs that I had told myself in my head, oh, those are too hard, you can't play them. And I saw the other people who were confident enough, and a lot of times they would be like 12-year-old kids. And I'm like, if they can do that, I can do this. Like,
yeah.
And they're posting it, and I'm like, look at them. And it didn't matter how old they were, how good they were, how everybody... just watching somebody try and love what they're doing, I'm like, people should have no shame about doing shit that they love, no matter how good they are at it. Just like
totally
fucking do
agree.
it.
And I totally agree about giving yourself permission to suck at stuff and to be imperfect. I mean, come on, live a little.
Yeah, live a little. And it's kind of fun when you just like are okay with being not okay. Like once you get over that.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm talking to
so
myself
easy.
here. It's not like I'm good at this principle. I suck at it. I think it's the right thing to do.
In general, with most things, it's a do as I say, not as I do situation. No, I'm kidding.
We're talking to ourselves.
I'm kidding. Yes.
One thing
always.
we both do, and everybody ought to do, is that you got to get your bras from Third Love.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
I think it's time for me to go into the Christmas colors. Like I'm thinking a good forest green color.
Wow,
I might have to get my phone
organization
out.
bins.
Yeah, yes, right.
You
might
color
have to
coordinate
match it to my bras. Tell me where I can find these.
They design underwear, loungewear, activewear, like feel good all day wear. They have a gazillion bra sizes, so whatever size you are, they have you covered, and they're just comfortable. I mean, to me, that's like the end of the story.
They have Christmas sets.
They have Christmas sets, you guys.
And the colors I want. Yes, that's what I'm
exciting.
They're talking about. Oh, yes.
They guarantee that it will fit you and you'll love it. Returns and exchanges are free for 60 days. They have fit stylists that can help you if you're confused about your size. It is just the perfect place to get what you need. Feeling is believing. Upgrade to everyday pieces that love your body as much as you do. Right now you get 20% off your first order at thirdlove.com/brain. That's 20% off at thirdlove.com/brain. I do not lie about comfortable bras because
yes,
that is serious business.
The one I love, the 24/7 lace contour plunge bra. Oh, I have it in the purple already, and they totally have it in this green color.
Is that the type of thing that you could post a picture? Like,
yes,
because I want to see your tattoo.
Oh yeah. That's a perfect one for it, actually.
Yeah,
and it comes with high-waisted. Not comes with, but like it pairs with. They have like a real cute matching like set. Or at least, that's like a high-waisted one, so I feel very
love those
comfortable.
kind of like vintage
posted.
style.
Yes, they're like so vintagey. They look so cute under like high-waisted jeans, high-waisted pencil skirt. Oh, you just feel sexy in them. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, now I'm getting all excited about, taking a sexy pic. I'm into
public
that.
Service. Thank you.
I was just having this conversation actually with the tan bicycle gentleman, who I'm still having a good time with. And I was saying that I think that every woman and dudes if you want to too. You do you. But I just don't think it does quite the same thing. Well, who am I to judge? Guys, you can do this too. Whatever floats your boat. You're like, just tell me already, Sarah. I think that women should take sexy photos of themselves, or like just at least once every 5 years, if not every year.
Yeah. Why not?
Whatever you look like, it doesn't matter. You are so fucking hot and beautiful. And 5 years and 10 years from now, you is going to look at 5-year-old and 5 year in the past you and be like, damn. Or we'll look at that and be like, wow, you've come a long way. Either one of those things is awesome.
I remember I saw an interview. I think it was Jamie Lee Curtis on Oprah. I can't remember for sure, but she would say that she would look at herself in the mirror naked for like a certain amount of time every day. Because she's like, if I can't look at it, you know, why would anybody else? Like, you got to kind of like really see yourself sometimes.
I am really, I think that I don't know if I've personally followed the right accounts or changed what I'm looking at on social media, or there's enough of different pictures out there. And also shout out to brands who are putting different sizes in to where it's kind of normalizing it for me. I feel way more comfortable with body hair, bumps, rolls, all of that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's age, but I do think it has to do. I feel a little desensitized to those things and less critical and judge. Like I know because I had this whole thought about it. Did you see on Netflix the Love, Sex, and Goop or something?
No.
Oh my God! First of all,
yeah,
but I didn't watch it. But the icon for it, the little like image for it,
I
is
saw that.
just a really body positive one. And I was just like, oh yeah, it felt like I was like, oh yeah.
I would agree with you. That's
I don't
one
feel
of those
bad
examples.
about eating one half of an entire thing of cornbread I made last night.
Cornbread. In mine, you know, my nightstand snacks.
Yes.
My current nightstand
What do you got?
snacks are the little packets of combos from, you know, like my childhood. You know, the 1980s.
Those like, aren't those like bar snacks?
Oh, I mean, they could be. They should be. They're just like pretzels or crackers, and inside is cheese. They're not good, but I love them because they were my favorite when I was a kid, you know?
Yes.
So I just have so much fun chomping on those babies.
My current go-to is I have like a nice little trail mix. I use the term trail mix very loosely because nobody's on a trail over here. Just chocolate chips and peanuts that I've put in a Ziploc baggie, shaken up and put in my nightstand.
Hey,
because I like two of those together.
Choice.
Really, what I need to do is like melt the chocolate and then put the peanuts in them, and it's like chocolate covered peanuts. That'd be good. None of these things were things I have.
I'm
like
sorry, I keep
really good facts, but we talked about so much good stuff like that. I felt like I don't know. Maybe it's just because I feel like that was like therapy for me, and I feel nice after a good cry.
That's great.
Yeah. But, okay, so I do have some really interesting things that I want to talk about today, and I have to talk about. Okay. So, this is a story that combines two past stories, which I love those, and also gives us exciting information and hope for the future. Okay. Did you see the story about the judge's ruling on Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos?
Yes.
Susie, do you know what this means?
What?
Do you remember when we just talked about the elephant? Is an elephant a person?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Now we have another case that...
Were there people?
Yes.
So if you didn't hear the episode, Pablo Escobar, during his cocaine phase... but
it's not a phase, Mom.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
He bought a bunch of hippos, and
that's a fucking funny joke. Sorry. Okay.
They have no natural predators where they are. And so these kids are just banging up a storm, and it was just like an invasive
I love
species.
that they're kids and like all the other women are hookers. Meanwhile, these are the ones who are banging.
Right, good point. I'm all backwards over here.
That's how
that's
how
so
you
the
do it, though.
judge said, I know that they sterilized some of them so they couldn't procreate, but what did the judge say in the end?
He ruled that they're an interested person status. So they have basically you can't shoot them to death.
Oh, you can't.
No. They're going to remove the animals. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, I hit the microphone. So they can't kill them. They have to be, keep them alive. And
okay.
Yeah,
but
so they have the right to be free from cruelty and exploitation.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
well, how are they going to prevent them from overpopulating? Just the sterilization?
I think that they can sterilize them. They just can't kill them.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. It says that they have the ability to enforce existing legislative protections. So I read this article in Vice. That is all it said after it. And it said the quote from the managing attorney in the district court order said, it will, quote, help the hippos in their lawsuit not to die. That's the immediate impact of it.
I can see why they would want that.
But this is the part that I thought was really interesting that then made me go, oh, my God, this is like a combination of so many things we talked about. It says, the last part of this, it says, it's the first concrete example of U.S. court authorizing animals to exercise a legal right in the animal's own name. So this is the first time.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and now we need to go take this to the sad elephant in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that poor bastard. I mean, he can't catch a break.
No, what is he, the loneliest elephant?
Yeah.
Well, I think they saved that one. This is like another lonely one, though. The one, right, it's the one, oh my God, he has a cute name. What's the name? Fuck, I can't remember. It'll come to me, I'm sure. Or somebody's yelling it out and it's fun for them.
Wasn't it like an emotion? Wasn't it happy or something?
Yeah, it's something like that. And like, I can't remember. But, and then he was like not friends, or she was like not friends with the other one because the other one killed their buddy. And like,
oh yeah,
the elephant was like, yeah, I don't want to hang out with that guy. They killed my friend. And they're like, I don't get it. Why does this elephant not want to hang out with this other elephant?
Yeah.
Well,
he's a murderer.
Okay. Oh,
it is
what a
happy.
good segue, Sarah, that you just set yourself up for. That's ridiculous. And now we know so much about what is ridiculous, like why that's ridiculous, thanks to a really new kind of, well, maybe it's something that's always existed, but we never had an official name for it, or like a school of, like a dedicated study to this.
Okay.
But I watched a super fascinating TED Talk called "What Death Rituals or What Crows Can Teach Us About Death."
Okay, cool.
And it was by this woman named Kaylee Swift, and she is what they call a comparative thanatologist, and that word is that's like the official name that they only I don't know, created, whatever you call that, in 2016 for the study of how animals respond to their dead.
Oh, okay, cool.
I didn't know that was, like, isn't that crazy that we've never had a proper field of study for that? Yet we have one probably around animals and mating.
Right. And birth and child rearing.
Right. A lot of other different eating, a lot of other different things, probably like aggression and whatever else it is. But because we have such like a, I don't know, kind of like a negative death narrative in a way, we also do the same thing with our feelings about animals and they're dead. But it's so interesting because it teaches us so much about our own rituals, what they mean, where they developed. And I super, super recommend this TED Talk. I'm going to link it and put it in a swipe up or something like that and put it on in our newsletter.
That crows, etc., have rituals and stuff?
Oh, so much and so much more than that. So a few interesting things. This one I couldn't even believe. The first intentional human burial that we have record of was 100,000 years ago. That seems like yesterday.
Oh, does it?
Does it seem like that to you, or does it seem like...
That seems like a long time ago, man.
But I feel like you also have a very good and concrete knowledge of periods of time in your mind because of religion. And like humans like different, I don't know, practices kind of evolving with that. Like when I hear that and I think about humans as like as
we know them.
Yeah. You know, like I'm staring right now at my copy of the book Sapiens, thinking about like humans in that, you know, term that 100,000 years ago.
That doesn't feel like a long time ago?
No, because like we've been dying for forever. You know?
Right, but maybe we just haven't been recording things forever, you know?
And they have we didn't have any. Yeah, and this is all we know of. There could have been different kinds of burials, and it just doesn't look like that to us. Maybe they like threw them off the edge of cliffs and called it a burial or something like that.
Called it a day.
Yeah, right. But so as she's like discussing that animals fall into two categories or two groups as far as their behaviors around the dead go. There's the predictable behavior, so things that we see in animals that live in colonies or animals that live in groups that are around death. And this is what they call undertaking behaviors. So it's like, we got to get rid of this body. And there are different reasons for like, what's the purpose? Like why, you know, even when you look at the 100,000-year-old burial, why would somebody... Even just asking the question, why would somebody need to bury a body? Do you do it out of hygiene reasons? Do you do it to, you know, in honor of them? Do you do it because like nobody likes to look at a dead body?
Right.
There's a lot of kind of questions that it asks. So if you want to know the answers to human behavior before society and like that stuff,
the modern world,
it's helpful to make, I mean, we can only make assumptions, but looking at behaviors of primates and behaviors of animals can give us a lot of insight into that. So I just find this stuff fucking fascinating. So she divides everything into two groups. So these predictable behaviors, these are things like ants, ants will even make tombs. So we look at a lot of,
oh my God, that makes me feel so bad.
Why?
Well, you know, I've killed a lot of ants in my day.
Yeah, but ants you don't have to worry about because it seems like a tomb to us where it's like, oh, they're, you know, we anthropomorphize that.
Sure.
And we say like, oh, a tomb like in ancient Egypt where they're, you know, honoring him or whatever. But really that's undertaking behavior. The ant's like, no, we got to store him in the closet over here to get him away from everything else so that dead body doesn't
contaminate
the rest, or they just eat it.
Who does?
You know, there's a whole bunch of different animals that will consume other dead animals of their own. My hamsters, for one. Remember that?
I forgot.
Come on. Romeo, Sinbad, and Hercules?
Oh, my
R.I.P.
God. Wait, which one died?
Romeo ate both of the other two. I don't know the order to which they lost their life, and I don't know if it was like...
It was like a murder-suicide
revenge. Yeah, I don't know, Suze. We weren't there. And when we got home, Romeo wasn't talking.
Right. Real tight.
He pled the fifth. Yeah. He was like, nothing to see here, folks. Meanwhile, blood on his paws.
Right. Literally. Stop it. Sarah, how many of these species eat their own? Is it a lot?
I think a lot. Well, Susie, no. It's. I use this example because I read when in one of, I believe his name's Mark Seligman, who wrote the book, The Whole Mind, Brainchild and Mind, and a whole bunch of other amazing ones. He's the one I super fan for and stood in line for at multiple events to get his autograph on a book and took pictures with him.
He's an academic groupie.
I'm totally an academic groupie. Yeah, I totally fangirl harder for, or I guess stan is the cool word now. I stan academics way more than I do celebrities, with the exception of Jeff Goldblum, and that's only because he plays an academic in the movie Jurassic Park. There you go. So
yeah, as somebody who married a professor, I can totally understand your feelings.
That is so funny. Now I have honestly no idea what I was talking about before, because I have gone fully into a world of fantasizing about
Mark Seligman or whatever.
Oh, The Whole Mind. We were talking about, I need more than that.
Well, they ate each other. How many of them eat each other?
Oh, yes, thank you. That we, as our brains evolve, that's, if you look at the reptilian brain, the most animalistic first brain that we have, the example that he always uses is like, it's the lizard that eats her young. Like that you, I had a cat, a mom cat that ate her baby that died.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, that was fucking traumatizing. We had a cat that had kittens, and the baby did not make it, and mom was like, gulp, 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 and I'm like, ah! That was...
Do you know that these stories are insane, or have you just grown, they're normalized to you?
I think anybody who works on a farm or has seen animals or like lived around animals having a lot of like babies or something like that has absolutely seen this, and it's like no big deal.
We're going to have to, we have a couple farmers that listen to the show. I'm going to have to ask them if this is...
I think they'd be like, yeah, that happens. And it's like, yeah, fine.
Wonder why though? Why the hell's she eating her dead baby?
You know, in the same way, people would be people would think it's crazy if you didn't know that cats like brought dead birds and mice. You'd be like, what the hell? It's bringing this corpse into my home? It'd be weird, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So this is what they do. So
my God, I just love cats more every day.
I love that you love cats.
They're so
and I think
up.
I'm loving cats more too.
Yeah, I don't know why you're
God!
resisting.
Did you see those? Please, can you like make those bat wings for your cat happen?
I need to.
Guys, I saw the funniest video ever. Somebody made little bat wings, and
I'll have to do that for
they're like
next
a little
year.
suit that goes on a cat.
If you have black cats, it really is awesome.
It is so funny, and I just want to play the old Batman theme song, because that's what plays in my head when I watch it or imagine it. Oh, it's so cute. I'm getting so sidetracked here. But, okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about these cool things in this article. So, because I know we're like running out of time, and I don't want you to say, well, let's wind it down.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay. I'm like the kid who knows that mom's about to say it's time for bed, and so I just like keep talking so that we can keep staying up. That's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we talked about how the two groups of animals. So, okay, we have predictable behavior. We talked about that. The ones who like consume their dead do undertaken behaviors. Those are like basic hygiene. Like, yep, we got to get it out of here for the betterment of the group. Then we have this other group where they have what she referred to as charismatic behaviors. So they have death bait, and with these, you can't study them as well. It's not as predictable, and they're really behaviors around death that are really more based on anecdotal evidence. And so this is like elephants and especially corvids, which is the ravens and the crows.
Yeah, what do they do?
This is what she studied. Oh my God, it's so fantastic. I want to show you this picture, because you're going to have to see it. Okay, so she wanted to look at, like, we anecdotally know that crows have so many different rituals around death. So much so that it was even written about in the Bible that God sends the crow raven down to Cain after he slayed Abel, and like tells him about, like, in her TED Talk, she says that is like a hypothesis for where we get some of our death rituals is from watching ravens. And then ravens are represented in the Bible as being the ones to teach us about how to take care of our dead. And so she like linked the two, and that maybe we developed our rituals based on crows, which is super cool to even think about.
Yeah, that is cool.
So she wanted to study whether crows behaved differently or learned about their environment based on deaths of other crows. So, you know, we look at the behaviors of crows that are so unique, and we look at all the anecdotal evidence that we have about like crows holding like vigils, and like they, you know, will bring little like things to lay at the site, like, you know, next to the bodies of other birds and things like that. So she wanted to see, like, kind of explore, like, what's the purpose of these? You know, we can't look at it through the lens of just like a human lens and like people lens. We have to think maybe it could be teaching them something. There's probably like a behavior reason for it, and it could be teaching them something about the environment. So maybe having rituals around death could give them information about how crows died in that area. What are the predators in the area? What are the is this environment safe? So she wanted to conduct studies to look at whether or not crows learned about if an environment was safe or dangerous, and if a person was safe or dangerous. And she used food, like piles of food, as the way to test this. So she started with like a food pile, and then she would test how long, or like look at the time of how long it took the crows to come to the food, how long they stayed, how much they ate, how many came, things like that. And so she did 2 different experiments, one with using what appeared to the crows as a dead body of a crow. So she would put a stuffed
like
crow.
A decoy. Oh,
yeah,
man.
She'd put a stuffed crow. Well, she would follow 2 crows, and they all have like little like trails, like areas that they you know hang out in and everything. And so she would find like the paths of these crows, and she would you know put the food out and get like her what the hell do you call it? Control group info and all that. And then she would put this decoy bird or this like fake dead bird in the middle of the path of these birds, and then just watch their behavior. And really interesting, crazy stuff happened. And it was different. What she found out was it was different every time. Like there isn't a unique, or there isn't a crows do this thing. What we do know is they just do a lot of different things, and they definitely like each have their own little like developed rituals around death. But what she did see is that they absolutely learned about the safety of that environment. So if a crow was on the path and was dead, they wouldn't come as often. They stopped coming to the food piles. If she put the food pile out the next day after the dead crow has been there, the crows are like, there was a dead guy there the other day. So that tells us that they learned about their area through the dead crow that was there. And so that's why like they invite other crows, like they have an alarm. There's like marked things that these crows do to like notify that there's a dead bird. So they'll do like an alarm noise. They'll show signs of aggression. They'll show signs of even arousal. Like sometimes the birds like start fucking on top of the dead bird.
Stop it!
I swear to God, there's video of it.
Oh no, they don't do it with the dead bird. They do.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
they also
God.
do that, and so do other animals. She talked about that too.
What the heck?
Yes, this is totally in there.
Seems to me that seems like a conflict of the data.
Okay, this isn't even my favorite part of the article that I was like saving to get to because I want to show you this photo. We're gonna have to pause it. Not now, but I'm gonna tell you this lead up, and then I'm gonna show you the photo. But so that's how she tested the environment. But then she also wanted to test if they would learn if a person was dangerous or not. So to do this, she had a person wear a mask and hold a dead bird, like one of these, not like stuffed dead birds, like pretend dead birds. And I don't know why they used a mask. I think it's because they wanted to have like a blank expression or maybe use the same face every time.
Sure, yeah.
So this mask, this is like the bad guy, essentially, who's this mask of a woman who's holding the dead bird, who the crows absolutely grow to hate. Guess what her name is?
Oh my God, she has a name?
Uh-huh.
What?
Linda!
No, shut
Yes!
The bird murderer is Linda.
Yes. I'm going to show you the photo because it's the creepiest. Like, this should have been our Halloween episode. Oh, it's so funny.
Did they say why they chose that name?
No, but it made me think, oh my God, what if she is a fucking listener of our podcast? It combines too many things we love. It's Linda's the bad one. It's crows. Wait till you see this fucking face. It's the funniest thing in the whole world to me. And I am like giddy right now over this story and how, when I was like, this couldn't get, it just got better. Like,
yeah, because why would you name a crow murderer Linda unless
why would you
knew
unless
about
you knew
our Linda?
And look at what Linda looks like.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is a nightmare. I
should have saved this for our Patreon video one. Maybe I'll just put it up in that one so you guys can see it too.
This
isn't that good? I had to get that in the story. That story in.
Ghoulish. God, I mean, she looks like if a person were a crow,
right?
With that hair.
So she said, so she made sure to say in this TED Talk, she was like, yeah, and if you're looking at that and you're thinking, who the fuck wouldn't be terrified of this? She was like, yeah, so did all of the neighbors who were living in the houses in the park, like across the street from the park we did this in.
Right.
And she said, don't worry, we did trials and birds do not have the same association as we do to the female Mike Myers mask.
That's good.
She said some other joke. I think it was Leatherface, but I was like, Mike Myers is the better joke here.
That is.
And so I just changed it for her.
You have some notes.
Yeah, I have some notes.
For Kaylee.
I did. There were a few times where I was like, yeah, here we go. Here's some notes for that.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that is ridiculous and weird.
So
and why I need
more
more info on why they're banging on top of dead birds and stuff.
Well,
That's
so
weird.
she said what we do see, what you see is a combination of these kinds of behaviors: alarm, aggression, and arousal. And these make sense for needing information. And also, this is the other thing that made me that it made me think of. We're assuming that these crows are all bummed out that these other crows are dead.
Yeah.
Even humans, when you have relatives or people that maybe you know who have passed away, it's kind of a range of emotions.
So you're saying maybe this is like a ding dong witch is dead type thing?
Yep. That's what she's saying too. She's like, we have a range of emotions as humans when we experience death. These animals have a range of emotions when they experience death.
Yeah, I guess, but I've never been horny.
Well, yeah, but like maybe it's like it's just arousal in a different way. And then, oh my God, it's so weird. You have to see this TED Talk. And so it's like two crows start banging on top of this other crow, and then another crow comes around and he's getting all excited, so he starts pecking at them. And they're like, there's another one's like all calling and like doing the alarm. And she was like, this seems like crazy and a really unique situation. And guess what? We found out after all of our research, it was. And nothing was predictable. The only thing that was predictable was alarm, aggression, and arousal. Dang. For that to show up in any different way.
I didn't know I would be kink shaming crows on today's episode, but here we are.
Here we are.
Wow,
you know, I always try to work it in some way.
That was fascinating and weird.
Yeah. It's a really, really good TED Talk. I really liked it. And now I really need to know, let's find her. That wouldn't be difficult.
Kaylee.
We can get her on the show.
So
I know. I need to know.
Okay. I'll find her. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. You're so good at that.
We got to wind it down, man.
I know. I could talk forever. I'm like all excited about this.
We covered a lot of ground.
Yep. I talked about how, like, I shared my tale of sticking to my instrument even through tough times. And I hope that inspired somebody out there to keep going on whatever it is that they are
give it
doing
a whirl.
that bring them joy or just would like to do.
Even if that just means singing along to a song in your car.
Yes, with like no shame and who cares. And also, if you have kids, remember your kids are watching how you act. And you know how we like don't want to teach kids to feel like embarrassed or shame about, or like you wouldn't want your kid. Don't you love your kid when he just sings at the top of his lungs and doesn't care? Yeah. So you should be the same. And then he should, or she should watch you, or they should watch you do that. And so remember that.
Yeah,
it's
I
hard
think
to
that's
just
such a good lesson.
Yeah.
We learned about Pablo Escobar's hippos being human.
Right. And maybe some good news for elephants and other animals that are in captivity or maybe not being treated like the persons that they should.
I apologize, by the way, for that.
Oh, yeah.
Noise.
A little like tree trimmer action.
Yeah.
Usually it's me who's got
During
that.
the episode, Adam texted and was like, hey, do you mind if we chop down like a humongous tree? So I guess that's what's happening.
Go ahead. No problem.
And crows, man. Kinky. Kinky.
Also, Linda. Creepy. You guys have to like just Google that mask. It's so fucking funny.
And you have clearly bad luck with pets. That is a recurring theme of the show.
Look, I just am a pet owner and
I'm
have
glad Bo's
pets.
okay.
She's doing great. And in fact, my friend who is a vet came over. My friend, well, I'm calling her my friend now because she's dating my friend. So now, she gets to be my friend too. And her name's Susie. Shout out to Susie.
What?
Yes. And every time I talk about you, she thinks it gets very confusing because I just talk about you.
Are you kidding me?
Like, no, I'm not.
I don't love it.
What? I do. You're like, I'm not sharing with anybody. But she said Bo is a very healthy 14.
Oh,
she couldn't believe it. She said she looks like 12. And I said, I've been saying she's 12 for about 6 years.
She doesn't look a day over 12.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Everyone should leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
If only to just like say that you support the many tears I've shed. One star for all the tears I've shed on.
And check
5
out
stars
all the merch.
5 stars, yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, coming out soon, I thought it would be really cute to do like, you know how they have like family sets of pajamas and everything?
Oh, yeah.
And so I wanted to make, just for like, so like everybody felt like they could have a set that they would like to wear. I made kind of a more, what looked like a little boy robot to our It's Hard Being a Person shirt.
Okay.
And so I thought like it would look really cute. I could just imagine like his and
That's
hers.
a great idea.
Or family set of It's Hard Being a Person
I love that.
sweatshirts.
That's really nice.
And I just think like that's cute.
Love that.
I could just like love that, like little couple pictures and It's
that
Hard
for
Being the
us.
Person shirt. I love that for us. So check those out for like the people on your Christmas list who you'd like to be matchy with. And there you go.
Yeah, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.